Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I am checking my volumes once again for Mr. B because I forgot to do it and he does not like this. Now, Black Swan Cap, let's listen to this clip.
There needs to be a fundamental repricing of all things financial, almost everything, vis-a-vis all things not financial, or at least to the extent they are financial. They're very, very explicitly backed by real assets, unencumbered by debt and leverage. That's
Hard assets.
where we're going. That's the reset, if you want to call it that.
Okay, a lot of these are going to wake you up here, folks.
In 2023, late 2023, like in November, December, the first ever cross-border settlement for gold using the digital yuan. And remember, we've talked about the Belt Road Initiative for a very long time, right? What is it? It's 150 plus countries. Right now, 75% of human population, 50+% of global GDP and growing. And a lot of these countries are unindustrialized. So check this out. Chinese government just launched a new public blockchain infrastructure platform led by the Conflux network. The new platform, dubbed Ultra Large Scale Blockchain Infrastructure Platform for the Belt Road Initiative, aims to create a public blockchain infrastructure platform. This platform will be able to support the implementation of cross-border cooperation projects along the Belt Road Initiative. So you have 75% of human population right there. And all of the deals I have mentioned for years are being settled on the digital yuan, most of them, the contracts that are building out this infrastructure. Now they have the ability, once they've industrialized and pulled all the shit out of the ground and built the roads and the bridges and the railroads and the maritime channels, to pay for it all, going back and forth, sidestepping the SWIFT on a digital system like Project M Bridge, which cuts the West out completely and totally. And all of the pathways are connecting to the BRICS pathways, like the North-South corridor that goes from like Iran to Russia or to India, past Russia, and instead of going through, you know, the Indian Ocean where you got the U.S. Navy. All of these things are being done, isolating the West. And if you see the little by little, the chessboard, little by little by little by little, look at all the pieces, infrastructure. Look at the 10 countries that have already signed on to BRICS. And one of the countries that has formally applied, I believe, is Sudan. And if you look at next to Egypt and Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates and Iran, they have the entire Red Sea and Straits of Hormuz now covered, the entire thing. They have shipping lanes. They have relationships done mutually beneficially all over the world with the majority of human population. You have the president of Belarus calling for a summit to join the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. See that word cooperation? And the Eurasian Economic Union into the BRIC in 2020.
Now, look at this. Jim Rickards tweeted this. I wrote years ago this was coming. Here it is. Watch this.
I can't, wait, I don't understand. What are you talking about?
So I need to give you a bank draft.
This is a guy in his bank in Canada.
You're gonna get cash. I will need an invoice for the car purchase.
Why? No, I'd like to. It's for if the car's payments for in cash. I can't use a bank draft.
Are you buying from like a private?
Yeah, it's private.
person?
It's literally from my friend.
From your friend?
Yeah, but he wants it in cash.
Can he give you like anything that you can purchase it from him?
No, I don't. You don't need that, bro. What is it? I'm only asking for 3.
I know.
What is this? It's my money. I'm allowed to withdraw from my own bank account.
Yeah, so I can.
He said that. What's the maximum limit you can give a withdrawal to a customer? It's $3,000 on the date. You've already mentioned that multiple times.
Yeah, not today.
Why not today?
Today I would need a bank draft or I would get you an invoice.
But why you don't? So you need proof of what it is. Why is that? And why is that? Why is that? Why do you need me to tell you what it is? Why do you need? What kind of proof is that? I bring in a note. Like what? How is that? What is that going to change? I don't understand.
So that would
You need to give me my money.
buying.
I'm not taking a bank job. I would like cash, please.
Yeah, I won't be able to give you cash today.
Yeah, wait. I'm just going to sit here until you give me cash. So I'm not going to leave.
Okay. If you want, we can have a sit there.
And then do what? Who am I waiting for?
I can get the manager to talk to you.
Well, yeah, get the manager because this is it's unbelievable.
Huh, folks. I buy physical gold And this is my sponsor, Miles Franklin. If you want some physical gold, you can go and you can look at the specials here. I'm hitting the old refresh button. And then you go to the sign up button, and there's a referral code. You put in DAI Gold, all caps, DAI Gold. That's how you can get gold. This is where I order my gold. All right, check this out. Peter Schiff. They're acting like this chick like destroyed Peter Schiff and all this, but not from my point of view. Look, my stance has been for a long time. Own a little bit of Bitcoin, even though we know all the stuff about Bitcoin, you know, how they're lying about not knowing who Satoshi is. It's just a little bit of a hedge. It's my they allow Bitcoin to live hedge. So I have gold and Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is going much lower than this. If Natalie were smart, as soon as this segment is over, she would sell all of her Bitcoin. Because if she doesn't sell it now, she's going to sell it later at a much lower price.
All right. Well, them's what we call fighting words. And I think there's similar drivers for both. But let me introduce the two. Natalie, meet Peter. Peter, meet Natalie. All right, Natalie, some choice words for you. What would you tell Peter?
Oh, I know, Peter. And you know what? Bitcoiners don't feel the need to constantly attack gold because we're not threatened by gold. And the reason that we have this failed fiat experiment that has impoverished our nation is because of the defects of gold. The fact that it's not easily portable, it's not easily verifiable, it doesn't offer instant final global settlement. And so you know what? Centralized authorities hijacked it, they papered over it, and we have a system of leverage and rehypothecation that hurts the working class. Bitcoin is immune to all of that. It is the savings account for billions of people that we really need. And
actually, Natalie, they're doing to Bitcoin right now with the ETFs the same thing they did to gold. That's how they get themselves in a position to manipulate the prices.
Most rely on, and it offers that final global settlement that we need. And so gold is the analog version of sound money, but Bitcoin is the digital version, and that's why it's going to be the faster horse in this race.
Peter?
There's nothing sound about Bitcoin. It's losing the race right now. Take a look at your screen. Gold is up $25, $26, and Bitcoin is getting clobbered. You know, there is no flaw in gold. Gold worked great for 5,000 years. The problem is the flaw is with governments. The flaw is with human beings, not with gold. But Bitcoin is really flawed because it doesn't have any actual value. Gold is the most useful metal on the periodic table. That's why it's money. Now, it has great characteristics that make it better money than other commodities, but absent its intrinsic value, it couldn't be money. And Bitcoin has no intrinsic value. It's just a digital string of numbers. And all of this is just a bunch of hype.
Anything could be money, right? On the island of Yap, they used to have Bitstone.
All right, I think you get the picture there. Now, I wanted to show you this. I've seen this movie. I'm having 2008 financial crisis flashbacks. Real estate is one of the shoes that has not dropped yet, but I have a feeling.
Hey guys, just a quick hello here. You will not believe what we just found. This place is completely deserted. These were new build sites in Austin. They're being advertised as mid-city office and home. But look at this. Look at these windows. This is unbelievable. Wow.
All right, so that's going on. There's a lot going on, folks. Now, then we've got Coinbase and Kraken. I'm not going to play these commercials, but Coinbase and Kraken have put out commercials leading up to the Bitcoin halving this week. And then I saw this as well. This is Anthony Pompliano. He came on with Liz Clayman to talk about the halving too. He is not selling pizza boxes now. I don't know what happened to that venture. And by the way, Anthony Pompliano is, quote, former Army military intelligence.
We are just 5 days away from a potentially major mover that hits the crypto world only once every 4 years. It's this Bitcoin halving event, halving event, when the supply of new Bitcoin just gets chopped in half. It happens on Saturday. Meanwhile, the original digital coin continues to try and navigate the tumult that began with a jaw-dropping 8% drop Saturday night when a swarm of Iranian attack drones and missiles headed straight for Israel. Right now, Bitcoin is down about $4,300. And it stands at the moment at 62,775. Now, since Friday, Bitcoin has fallen 6.33%. Ethereum down 4.7%. Litecoin got hit the hardest, fell about 9.91%. How will Bitcoin...
Why are they all of a sudden talking about Litecoin, by the way? That's usually intentional.
Now, let's focus on that for a minute. Grapple with the forces it faces, including not just the Iran-Israel situation, but tax season selling. Let's bring in an early crypto investor and longtime Bitcoin bull, Pomp Investments, Anthony Pompliano. We'll get to the tax selling in a bit. I find that fascinating. But we know one thing about Saturday night. Bitcoin offered zero safe haven. It tanked. I was watching it. How are people supposed to infer what Bitcoin can be best for during times of trouble?
Yeah, this is a great story, and I think something worth paying attention to. But the story actually starts with gold. So at the end of last week, gold started to hit an all-time high and was pushing up. And I actually wrote a letter on Friday to investors, and I said, hey, is gold actually signaling that a major geopolitical event could be occurring in the next few days? Mm-hmm. Saturday, we get the attack. And so who was buying gold? Was Iran buying gold? Was China buying gold? Why was gold going up a couple of days before? Is it a country who believed that there was going to be severe financial sanctions against their country, and so they wanted to protect their central bank assets? It's interesting. Then, of course, when the attacks actually occurred, Bitcoin did drop. But I think we can go back to 2020 and see why Bitcoin dropped over the weekend. In 2020, during COVID's kind of initial pandemic outbreak, all asset prices fell and correlations went to 1. So it didn't matter if you were in stocks, bonds, Bitcoin, or anything else. Everything dropped because investors were panicking. They had fear. And so naturally what they want is they want US dollars in that situation. And so thankfully the stock market was closed on Saturday and Bitcoin was really the only market that was trading.
That's right, because it trades 24/7 for those.
Of course. So what was happening was people were scared, right? So what do? They sell liquid assets and they want to raise dollars in order to be able to have those dollars and figure out what's going to happen. Now, what I do think is important though is that if Bitcoin leads on the way down, in that panic moment, it will also lead on the way up in the coming days and weeks after people, I think, kind of get used to, okay, well, what is the current situation? They evaluate it and they realize.
Okay, I don't need to listen to any more of that. I did want to show you this graphic. This is the Bitcoin halving, where they show the cycle about the block rewards and how they go down like that. Interesting thing there. Now, okay, let's try that one more time while I hit my volumes here.
The crypto market is about to explode. Let me explain what's about to happen. There is a huge scarcity event in crypto that's happening this week. Guys, people wait 4 years for this event that's happening this week. And this event is called the Bitcoin halving. Now, the Bitcoin halving is basically where the Bitcoin that's created on a daily basis is going to be cut in half. It's going to be slashed. Now, miners, they mine Bitcoin, they secure the network, and obviously they have to be rewarded in something for all that electrical and computational power. They get rewarded in Bitcoin, and that is going to be cut in half. This is a major scarcity event. It's going to shock the market completely. And historically speaking, every time we have this event, Bitcoin has a huge pullback. And that's what we're seeing this week. The entire market has crashed. So it looks like the chart is going to plan. But you know what happens after the pullback? A massive bull run. Historically speaking, the halving sparks a huge bull run that goes on for the next 18 months. Bitcoin breaks all-time highs, Ethereum breaks all-time highs, and even altcoins, meme coins, all these shit coins, you see them go 100x, even 1,000x, some of them. Guys, you're going to make a lot of money. Everyone's going to make a lot of money. But you know what you have to do? Take profit, because I'll tell you what's going to happen in 18 months. The entire market is going to crash. It's going to pull back. And just as quickly as you became a multi-millionaire overnight, you'll be broke overnight.
Man, those are some pretty bold words there. Look, the world's waking up. This YouTube video came out yesterday or in the last few days. Ethereum, how a lie became worth billions. And then we've got, this is interesting, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I think Senator Elizabeth Warren is trying to cover her butt. She's trying to go after, with Chuck Grassley, Senator Chuck Grassley, she's trying to focus on getting answers from the CFTC and the chairman before, because they were meeting with FTX before the company imploded. But it's almost, if I didn't know better, it's almost as if Senator Warren is trying to distract away from Gary Gensler's involvement in the FTX debacle.
Sam Bankman-Fried is finally facing a lot of scrutiny as he is at trial this week. But one person, Gary Gensler, who is the SEC chair responsible for regulating financial markets, has managed to avoid a lot of scrutiny, despite ties to FTX that he's never explained. Now, not only was he very close with several top people at FTX, two people he'd worked with in government for years, Mark Wiegand and Ryan Miller, went on to become FTX lobbyists and general counsel. Gary Gensler also met with FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried after FTX made those major hires. Now, he's never disclosed exactly what they discussed in those meetings, but people are really shocked that Gary Gensler spent so much time with basically a scruffy kid. In the span of a year, they met twice. We also know Gensler didn't actually ever receive ethics approval to get those meetings in his calendar. So at the same time, Gary Gensler was extremely critical of a lot of other people in crypto, like Brian Armstrong, who ran Coinbase. So it's unclear why Gensler would spend so much time with somebody in crypto when he largely publicly excoriated a lot of people in the cryptocurrency space. So obviously a lot more questions than answers, but I think as we continue to get clarity into what exactly happened with SPF, as we go through this trial, I think the hope is that maybe we'll get a little bit more clarity about what Gensler knew and when he knew it.
So I'm asking Empower, Tristan Levitt, Jason Foster, anybody want to do a Freedom of Information Act request on Gary and his involvement with FTX, because he's been hiding all the information. Now, we're going to go into DAIXRP.com, and here's what we're going to talk about. There is a major crypto pundit who, in the last 48 hours, I have seen go completely negative. And he said several things that I'm kind of like, that my antenna is up now. And some of them are some of the things he's saying are pretty spooky. And I'm going to show them to you in the group. But let me tell you what, some of the things that this guy is all of a sudden saying is going to make you think. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family. You're going to want to see this in DAIXRP.com, because since you know I can see around corners, this caught my attention. This is something everybody needs to know about. So here we go.